Hey guys, I'm Tom the Tech Chap, and I want to find out how the battery life compares across the new iPhone 12 range, from the Mini, the 12, the 12 Pro, and the 12 Pro Max. But I'm also adding last year's 11 Pro Max for a bit of context. So all the phones are set up exactly the same, including the brightness, which I've measured at 150 nits. So I'm going to put these through a pretty intensive, real-world-ish battery rundown test. And while your real life experience and screen on time may vary, this should at least give you a good indicator of how they compare. But first, since I've got them all here, let's have a quick look at the performance. And since they all use the same A14 chip, except the 11 Pro Max, which uses last year's A13, and you can see both the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max have 2 extra gigs of RAM. So, in Geekbench 5's CPU test, the scores across the iPhone 12s are all within 1 or 2%. But what's impressive is even the cheapest iPhone 12 mini is actually 20% faster in single core and 15% faster in multi-core than the 11 Pro Max. Then onto Geekbench's Metal graphics test, and there's a little bit of inconsistency here between the 12s. The mini is actually the fastest, but again only by a couple of percent, so within the margin of error. But on average, we're looking at a 23% boost over the 11 Pro Max with the older A13 chip. So we're getting a nice little bump in performance, but let's get back to the real-world battery test. And if we jump into a bit of YouTube first, and since I'm here, shameless plug, but if you haven't subscribed, obviously this video takes a long time to make. Just wait and see how long these phones last. So a sub would be absolutely incredible. Alright, so after the benchmarks and 1 hour of YouTube, the 12 mini is in last place with 87% left. Then the 11 Pro Max, surprisingly, with 90%, and all the others are on 92%. Now moving on to a bit of gaming, and I'm going to fire up a game called Bright Ridge here, which I'm going to leave again for a full hour, so let's see how they do. Okay, so now we're 2 hours into this test, and the 12 mini really is falling behind, 69% left. Nice. The 12 Pro Max is in the lead though, even beating last year's 11 Pro Max, which actually has a bigger battery. Perhaps the more efficient A14 chip here is helping out. Now let's try some social media, and while I will admit I don't actually use TikTok myself, apparently it's pretty popular. Who knew? So let's play some videos on here for another hour. And fast forward, we're now 3 hours into this test, and there's definitely a pattern forming. Mini in last place, 12 and 12 Pro roughly neck and neck, and the 2 Pro Maxes staying out in front. Now, to avoid boring you all to death with this video, let's jump forward, and after 30 minutes of 4K video recording and 90 minutes of playing Company of Heroes, let's check in at the 5-hour mark. And all the phones have taken a pretty big hit. 4K video and gaming is a lethal combo for the battery, and so now the Mini is in pretty dangerous territory at just 19%. The 12 Pro now seems to be doing a little bit better than the 12, and the 12 Pro Max is a good 5 percentage points ahead of the 11 Pro Max. I didn't expect that. So starting the rotation of apps again, and after another hour of YouTube, just trying to pick up those extra views on my videos, you know, then nearly an hour of TikTok, and we have our first casualty. At just shy of 6 hours and 53 minutes, the iPhone 12 mini kicks the bucket, with the iPhone 12 still on 19%, which is only 9 percentage points behind the leader. I do love the Mini, but that smaller 2227 mAh cell makes it clearly the worst choice if battery is really important to you. I mean, it's still pretty good, we're looking at almost 7 hours of intense screen on time, but paying the extra 100 for the regular iPhone 12 might be worth it for the battery alone. Anyway, let's crack on, continuing the test with TikTok to the 7-hour mark, and then jumping back into Bright Ridge. But then, after a full 1 hour of gaming and then about 6 minutes of 4K recording, both the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro call it a day within about 5 seconds of each other. After over 8 hours, it all came down to just a few seconds. So at 8 hours and 6 minutes, I'm gonna call it a tie between these two. So the good news is that unlike last year's iPhone 11 series, you don't need to buy a Pro model to get better battery life. And so now we're down to a 2-horse race. But to save you guys some time, through the miracle of editing, let's just jump ahead by another 46 minutes when the iPhone 11 Pro Max finally throws in the towel, leaving the 12 Pro Max the winner with 3% of its battery remaining. In fact, it goes on for another 18 minutes playing YouTube, when at a whopping 9 hours and 10 minutes since I started this test, I told you these videos take forever to make, we have a winner. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max is the biggest, it has the best camera, and lasting 1 hour 4 minutes longer than the 12 Pro, it has the best battery life as well. And again, despite having a smaller battery than its predecessor, clearly the more efficient A14 chip is helping it out here. But then at the other end, giving up 2 hours and 20 minutes earlier, the 12 mini. I guess with the new faster 20-watt charging and faster MagSafe wireless charging, you can top up your battery faster than you used to, but still, if battery is important to you, which I think it is for most of us, I'd say the iPhone 12 is the best bang for buck when it comes to battery life. Although of course the 12 Pro Max is the overall winner, and the one I think I'll be switching to. So of course this was just an iPhone test, but let me know what phones you'd like to see in my full battery comparison video coming soon. And if you would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and help me get closer to that 1 million mark. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll catch you next time right here on the Tech Chap.